last few years have been great for two things: supergroups and synth pop, and here we kind of get both with Dreamcar's self-titled album. In case you weren't aware, Dreamcar is a supergroup that consists of the members of No Doubt, except for Gwen Stefani, who was actually replaced by Davey Havok, except replace probably isn't the right word, because right off the bat, you know, this is a completely different project. This sounds neither like AFI with Davey Havok, and does not sound anything like No Doubt, and I'm guessing that's kind of what they were going for. Dreamcar feels like a throwback of sorts sonically, with a modern twist on it. There's a lot of influences of the new wave bands and post-punk bands of the late and mid 80s coming through here. You've got definitely influences of bands like Pet Shop Boys or The Smiths or Duran Duran, Wham, Depeche Mode, anything like that. You definitely are going to hear it on here. It definitely pays homage to those bands in the past. However, you really kind of hear what they're going for and their take on things. This isn't something that's stuck in the past or a carbon copy of any of those bands, anything like that. They are definitely fresh and unique in their own way with this album. You definitely get a sense that this is really something that they listened to growing up, or that they're heavily influenced by, and it gives it a nice kind of edge to it over other bands, and even other bands that are kind of pushing into the synth pop territory. While this definitely is not a pop album in a lot of ways, it's got a darker sense to it. It features a lot of sarcastic wit in the lyrics. There are some kind of catchy choruses, melodic choruses to sing along to, and some dancey songs, for instance, like The Preferred or On the Charts, kind of have this real dancey vibe to them. On the Charts, for instance, features this kind of spoken word during the verses, which is very reminiscent of Pet Shop Boys, but during the choruses and everything else, it's got this very kind of dancey vibe to it. It's very kind of upbeat and energetic, and yet the lyrics themselves kind of lend a bit of a darker edge to them. Then you have songs like The Assailant, which really kind of emulate the Smiths back in the 80s. It's got this kind of distorted surf rock feel to it, and there's a few other songs on there as well. Like I said, it's definitely kind of a homage to these bands from the past. Davey Havok on this album definitely demonstrates why he's one of the better vocalists in the industry. I mean, his vocal work on the last AFI album was fantastic, probably the best to date. And even here, it's actually even better than that album. He's kind of showing off a little bit what he can do, harmonizing. I mean, there's layers here where he's harmonizing with himself as well. And it just works so well and fits kind of the feel and the mood that they're going for on this album. Dreamcar are a supergroup in every sense of the word. I mean, you're getting basically a mashup of two fantastic bands, and they're demonstrating what they can do and what they can do differently from those other bands that they're coming from. And they've hit the ground running with this album. I mean, it's an absolutely fantastic debut. There's a ton of great songs on here. There's a lot to like about this album, and I really think it's kind of going to stick with everyone who listens to this. If you're into that type of music, if you like synth pop, if you like kind of that new wave feel from the 80s, things like that, I think you're definitely going to feel right at home with this album. It feels like something out of the past, and yet it definitely feels modern all at the same time. It really works well, and they've managed to kind of capture everything that I think they set out to do. So I would definitely say listen to Dreamcar's brand new album, their debut album. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to be very interested to see if this is something that turns into a full-time project. While I know they have those other bands going on, is this going to be something where we get an album on their off time, or is this kind of a one-off thing? Don't know. I mean, they are definitely touring right now, but if this is what they're going to sound like, I'm here for it. Thank you so much for watching the review of Dreamcar's debut album, their self-titled album. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. What did you think of this album? Are you interested in these two bands as a mashup? Do you like the kind of style that they went for? Let me know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more.